Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. It is a huge night in the history of Chelsea's women's side as they look to reach a second ever Champions League final, but they have to overcome current holders Barcelona in the second leg at Stamford Bridge, where they take a 1-0 advantage into the second 90 minutes. Chelsea are in better form coming into this game as they have won the last two in a row, but before that they had no wins in the previous three, but now they're looking to win a third game on the bounce. They are yet to lose this season in the Champions League, and Chelsea will be through to the final if they avoid defeat tonight. Barcelona are looking to defend their Champions League title but have work to do in this second leg, as the loss in the first leg was their first loss in all competitions since the 21st of May 2023 in their final league game of last season. They are running away with the league as usual, currently 12 points clear of second place Real Madrid. This is the fifth meeting between the two. Chelsea's only win against them coming in the first leg last week. They have had a draw in this fixture, and that was in the 1-1 draw last season when they met in the semi-finals in the second leg. And they have also seen Barcelona win twice. They have won here themselves at Stamford Bridge in the first leg last year, and they have also beaten Chelsea in the Champions League final, which took place in 2021, and Barcelona won by 4-0. So for what is a massive night for both, will it be Barcelona or Chelsea to reach the final to take on Lyon or PSG? They face each other tomorrow, the two French clubs, so this will be the first team to guarantee their spot into the Champions League final. This was a semi-final from last season between these two. The first leg was at Chelsea and the second leg was at Barcelona. It's reversed this time around. The first leg was at Barcelona last week, where Chelsea won by 1-0. Erin Cuthbert with 5 minutes before half-time with the goal. But in the last semi-final between these two, the first leg Barcelona won here 1-0, Graham Hansen with an early goal, and then the second leg was a 1-1 draw, which was enough for Barcelona. They did go 1-0 up in that game, so there were 2 up on aggregate, but Chelsea did get one back with a quarter of the game to go, but couldn't quite find the equaliser. Barcelona then went on to the final, and they won the final in very dramatic circumstances. They won it 3-2 in the end. They were 2-0 down in that final. Barcelona before turning it around in the second half to win that game by 3-2. Hey Zach, yep, hello. Hope everyone is okay. I hope everyone's excited for this game. I'm very excited for this one. It's going to be a really interesting battle between two of the biggest teams in women's European football. Barcelona have won this competition twice now. They won it last season against Wolfsburg, like we've just mentioned, and they also won it back in 2021 against Chelsea. So they're looking to win it for a third time this season. Chelsea have never won it before. It was their first final when they faced Barcelona in 2021, and they fell to an embarrassing 4-0 defeat, in fairness. In that final in 2021, Chelsea were 1-0 down within the first minute. Melanie Leupolz scored an own goal, and then by the time it was the 36th minute, Barcelona were already 4-0 up. So if Chelsea do reach another final, they won't have to come up against Barcelona, but they'll have to come up against PSG, who are a very strong side themselves, or Lyon, who are serial Champions League winners. That they win it more often than not. When Barcelona reached the last final they played in, which they lost, it was against Lyon. Barcelona have reached the last 3 Champions League finals. They won it last year. They got beat in the final the season before, but they won it the season before that. The last time that Barcelona failed to win in a Champions League semi-final was in the 1920 season, but that was COVID, and it was a one-off semi-final game against Wolfsburg. The last time that Barcelona lost a 2-legged semi-final tie in the Champions League was back in the 16-17 season against PSG. They lost the first leg 3-1 at home and lost the second leg 2-0 away. So usually Barcelona know how to find a way to these Champions League finals more often than not. They don't always win them, but they usually get to the final. But it should be a sold-out Stamford Bridge. That's what we've heard. That's what we've been told. It is a sold-out Stamford Bridge tonight, which will really amp up the atmosphere here in London. The last time Chelsea played here at Stamford Bridge, it was the 1-1 draw, I do believe, against Ajax in the second leg of their quarter-final, if I'm not mistaken. So it is definitely going to be one of the biggest occasions here at Stamford Bridge for the women's side. It should be a really exciting encounter because Barcelona are just so good. They are ridiculously good. Like I say, they've only lost once all season in all competitions, and that was in the first leg against Chelsea. Other than that, they've played 39 and they've won 36. Absolutely ridiculous. Barcelona have only conceded more than one goal in the league once all season, sorry. They conceded twice in their last league game at the weekend, but before that they'd only conceded a minimum of one goal. They've only conceded 8 in the league all season, and they've scored 106. It's a scary side, but the fact that Chelsea were able to shut them out and keep a clean sheet last week at Barcelona was seriously impressive. Both sets of players are going to be arriving out of the tunnel here in front of the referee, Uliana Demetrescu, Romanian. And it's a huge night. We're going to go through both teams now. It is just the one change for Chelsea from that first leg starting 11. Hannah Hampton remains in goal. A back four of Ashley Lawrence and Niamh Charles at left back, who is tonight's captain for Chelsea. And the two centre-halves of Jess Carter and a former 5-time Champions League winner with Khadisha Buchanan. Two holding midfielders of Melanie Leupold and Erin Cuthbert, who scored the goal for Chelsea last week in the first leg. 3 behind the striker. On the right is going to be Joanna Rittin Karmrid. On the left is Lauren James. Through the middle, just in behind the striker, will be Sioke Nuskin. And up front, making a second ever start for Chelsea since joining in the summer from Lyon, and that is Caterina Macario. She started their last game in the WSL, which was a 3-0 victory against Aston Villa. She was back on the bench, subbed on in the first leg, Macario, but she's in the starting 11 for the second leg. She's the only change from the first leg, and she replaces Mayra Ramirez. For Barcelona, it's also just the one change from the last Champions League game, which was the first leg against Chelsea, but they've made 10 changes from their last league lineup, which was in the week against Levante. As for Barcelona, it's Catacol in goal, the 23-year-old goalkeeper who was in goal for Spain during their Euros win, during their World Cup win in the summer. It looks like it's going to be a back three of Ona Badier, Irene Paredes and Ingrid Enyen, with 2 wing-backs of Lucy Bronze and Fridolina Rolfer, with 2 central midfielders of Kira Walsh and Patri Guijarro. And just in behind the striker, it's going to be Aitana Bonmati, who has got 17 goals so far this season, 1 off, matching her total tally for last season. And the 2 up front, the real danger players in this team for Barcelona, is going to be Caroline Graham Hansen, who has got 5 Champions League goals so far this season. She'll play alongside Salma Paraluelo, Spaniard. She's got 30 goals so far this season. The Spanish international, just 20 years of age. She's scored 17 goals in the league. She's got 6 in the Champions League, one of them in the first leg of the quarter-final they played against Brann. So here are the 2 captains meeting together. The Chelsea captain is Niamh Charles, and for Barcelona it is Patri Guijarro, Spanish central midfielder, more of a box-to-box midfielder. Her idol was Iniesta growing up, now at the age of 25. And we're going to see which way both sides will be kicking this first half. Who will get kick-off as well? No, I've not heard anything. I've not seen her, actually. She went out afterwards, so no, I've not seen nothing. Yeah, don't matter. Don't matter if anything kicked off. It doesn't matter. Don't ask me now. We'll just leave it for now. But we'll get kick-off here at Stamford Bridge. It's under a minute's time. If you are new, make sure you do like and subscribe. Like I say, Chelsea do have a 1-goal advantage in this game. As you can see, the aggregate scoreline is in the brackets, just to the side of the score. So Chelsea have a 1-goal advantage. They picked up their first ever win against Barcelona in that first leg, an Aaron Cuthbert goal. And it was a defensive masterclass from Chelsea altogether. Barcelona only managed 1 shot on target the entire game. But Barcelona will be confident in themselves. They've got a fantastic manager of Jonathan Heraldez, who is going to be leaving Barcelona at the end of the season to join Washington Spirit in the USA. As the referee blows the whistle and both sets of players do take the knee before kick-off here. As it'll be Chelsea to kick off, kicking right to left. It'll be Barcelona left to right for this first half. Lauren James will be the player to kick us off. She plays it back here to Jess Carter, who sends it long for Chelsea, out to the left-hand side. A header away for Barcelona, straight to Luke Poulton. It's down the line by Charles here to Lawrence, who's brought down by Bronze. Nothing given by the referee. So that'll be a throw-in for Barcelona, midway inside their own half on this near side, with Lucy Bronze, who throws it forward it to Paraluelo, who wants to foul, doesn't get it. Chelsea have it back here with new skin, and then Macario tackled by Bronze. Again, last touch off the Chelsea player. So another Barcelona throw-in here with their number 15 of Lucy Bronze, formerly of Everton, Liverpool, and had 2 spells at Manchester City. 32 years of age now. Lucy Bronze joined here in the summer of 2022. As the referee just having an early word with a couple of the players, even though we're just under a minute in, already needing some words. As on the halfway line, Bronze from this near side throws it into the centre of the pitch, where it's been cut out by the head there of Luke Poltz, and she'll be the one to try and play it back. Referee's getting in the way, but she can flick it back here to Niamh Charles, who, facing her own goal, will go to the goalkeeper of Hannah Hampton, who plays it to the left here, to the left centre half of Kadisha Buchanan, who gets away from Graham Hansen and goes forward here to New Skin. And then Charles forward, pass cut out, and Barcelona try and get forward here. With Graham Hansen getting the last touch, and that will be a Chelsea throw-in on this near side. There's this timer. There is Emma Hayes, the Chelsea manager. She's also leaving to go to America after this season with Chelsea, but taking over the job for the USA national team. This is a 57th Champions League game as Chelsea manager, 33 wins, and just 2 losses in the Champions League in their last 2 seasons. For Chelsea. As Barcelona do have the ball with the right centre half, it looks to be of Lucy Bronze. Forward hit for Barcelona with their number 14 of Bonmati. Such a good player. The 26-year-old won the Ballon d'Or last year. Scored 3 goals as well at the World Cup for Spain, scoring twice in their last 16 game against Switzerland. As they attack down the right wing here, Graham Hansen chopping away from Lawrence and trying to play the ball inside, cut out by Charles, hurried away by the captain, and Macario finds Cuthbert, and we're now inside the Chelsea 18-yard box of Carter, who goes long. It's a high ball beyond the halfway line. Header away for Barcelona, couldn't quite reach Lauren James, and Barcelona are in here. Out to the left-hand side, couldn't quite find Rolfer there, their number 12, Guerrero. And it's now with Chelsea, out to the right-hand side here to Ritten Carmrid. Touches it away from Badier, and it's now with Lauren James, who just drifted out to this right-hand side. She will go backwards here, not wanting to force the pass, where she does kick it backwards. It deflects off a Barcelona player, and then it goes forward to a Chelsea player, but they couldn't quite keep it in touch on the far side. So it'll be a Chelsea throw-in. And there is their manager, Jonathan Heraldez, just 32 years of age, the Spaniard. 114 games in charge now, Barcelona, looking for his 105th win. They've only failed to win in 9 games he's been in charge of, which is just an unbelievable record. It's Chelsea to go forward here with the ball to the halfway line to Macario. Keeps it for Chelsea, finds Leupold. High ball out wide to the left, cut out by the head of Bronze, and it's Barcelona back on the ball. They lose out Graham Hansen there. Good defending by Chelsea, and it's now with Newskin. Out to the left there to Ashley Lawrence. To a right to Leupold. Finds Macario. James is making a running behind, and Macario will look for Lauren James. It's just overhit. And it'll run through to the Barcelona goalkeeper of Catacol. Mallorca-born goalkeeper. 23. years of age. It wasn't a bad idea there from Caterina Macario, but like I say, the pass over hits. It's Chelsea to come forward again, over hit touch, and Barcelona can clear it here. Paraluelo lays it off to the left-hand side here to Guijarro. Looks for the pass forward to Rolfer, who just come inside from a left wing-back position, but it's been cut out and cleared by Carter, but too long for any Chelsea player, so it'll run right through into the defensive third for Barcelona, where it'll be the goalkeeper just to come out of her 18-yard box and play the pass forward here for Barcelona. Decent start for both. No side really taking control of the game. Both having little spells of possession. No real chances as of yet. As Barcelona sending down the left-hand side here for their number 22. On Abadie, former Manchester United player. And she keeps it in the final third on the far side. Plays it here into Guijarro in the corner of the box. Tackled there by Ritin Karmrid, but it does drop back to Barcelona as they try and go through Chelsea's defence again, but the pass is cut out by Carter and cleared by Chelsea centre-half, but only as far as Fernandez. For Enyon, of Barcelona. But again, they lose out on this far side, and Chelsea try and clear, but Lauren James can't keep it in with a touch. And it's a throw-in for Barcelona, just in front of the halfway line on that far side. And it'll be a throw-in here for Ona Bardier, brought in this season from Manchester United. This is a second spell at the club. She was also at Barcelona from 2011 to 2017, during more of her youth days as a footballer. There's a header inside there by Paraluelo. He's been given away to Erin Cuthbert, and Chelsea back on the ball in their 18-yard box. They've worked it to the goalkeeper of Hampton. First-time clearance with the left foot down the centre of the pitch beyond the halfway line. Cleared away for Barcelona, but then chested down by Lou Potts for Chelsea inside the home team's half. And it's now Cuthbert to go back to Carter. And Chelsea back on the ball. Carter forced back to the goalkeeper of Hampton, who will go long again. Down the Chelsea right. Again, no one's chasing it though. Not quite working these long balls so far. It can be seen out of play by Ingrid Engen for Barcelona. Their Norwegian centre-half, 25 years of age, turns 26 on Monday. Like I said, there's just no real flow to the game at the moment, as it's a little bit scrappy at times. Both teams just trying to get their foot on the ball and play, as a short pass towards Ashley Lawrence at left wing-back for Chelsea has been intercepted, and the away team can bring it away here down the right-hand side. It's an overhit touch by Graham Hansen, slide tackle from Lou Potts, and it's a Barcelona throw-in. Not quite got her touches right at the moment. Caroline Graham Hansen, Norwegian forward for Barcelona. She's got 12 goals in 38 Champions League appearances for Barcelona. Graham Hansen, as bronze, goes forward, and Chelsea win it back there off Paraluelo. And Chelsea have it back midway side their own half here with Kadisha Buchanan, who can turn backwards. She wants to go to a goalkeeper here, and she turns the other way this time and goes to her left to Charles. She spins, tries to clear, but it's kept in by Barcelona's Graham Hansen. And it's now Barcelona back on the ball in the Chelsea half here with Lucy Bronze. Going to the halfway line here to their number 2 of Irene Paredes. It's now Bronze again. Tries to go inside, but it's cut out by Buchanan on the edge of the Chelsea 18-yard box. Buchanan with the ball, going long over the top of the Barcelona defence. But then again, overhit. We know Lauren James is quick, but she's not that quick. But goalkeeper for Barcelona was already out of her 18-yard box, ready to intercept that ball over the top. There's now Barcelona on the far side, bringing it forward with Bardier. Finds Rolfer in front of her with a pass, and Rolfer takes a touch forward, but Carter's on a case. Carter will tackle, and can she avoid the corner? I'm not too sure. Carter's been shoved into the advertising boards there by Fridolina Rolfer. Let's have a look. I'm not too sure. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's a push in the back there with the hands. It's not amazing, but it does look like she's avoided the corner there. Jess Carter, that's probably what's most impressive. Or have they given a corner? A corner's been given. It looked like to me she just avoided it, but obviously not according to the officials. The ball will be short here from the corner on the far side. It's back with Graham Hansen, the original taker. Then to her left it. Chance to get the cross in. In it goes for Barcelona, headed away there by Newskin. And it'll come out to this near side to Lucy Bronze, one-on-one with Charles. Goes to her left it. Barcelona keeper, Bonmati. Back to Paredes, then forward to Bronze, still in the final third for Barcelona. She'll put the cross in, it's a dangerous one, it's controlled, and out of play it goes. It goes for Barcelona. almost controlled to perfection there by Patri Guijarro, their captain for tonight. It was a good ball by Bronze into the 18-yard box. Good vision from their number 15. And as Guijarro tried to control it, just bounced off the left foot and away from it. And out of play for a goal kick for Chelsea. And before their defeat, Barcelona, to Chelsea in the first leg, they had won the previous 10 in a row in all competitions. Barcelona were unbeaten as well in the Champions League until that first leg. A lot of unbeaten and winning records disappeared for Barcelona when they fell to a defeat last week. As Hampton goes long from the goal kick, it's headed away for Barcelona. Miscommunication between Lupot and Cuthbert, and it's brought away now for Barcelona. It's out to the left here to Rolfer, outside the box. She crosses to the far post, and that's a poor cross in the end. Wildly overhit. She was looking for Graham Hansen, and it's out for a goal kick. She's usually better than that with her delivery. Fridolina Rolfer, brought in a couple of years ago now from Wolfsburg, and she scored against Wolfsburg in that final last season where Barcelona won the Champions League by 3-2. As Hampton in the 6-yard box clears for Chelsea. Up it goes out to the right-hand side, and again, out of play. Can't find Lauren James. And I understand why Chelsea are going long, trying to catch Barcelona's press out, but if they're going to go long, they've got to try and find Lauren James more often than they are at the moment. Don't think they've found her once at the moment. Chelsea's number 10, Lauren James, just the one goal for her in the Champions League this season, and that came in the first leg of the quarter-final against Ajax. It's Barcelona on the ball, in the centre circle here with their number 12, Patri Guijarro. It's now Bonmati. Goes into the centre-half here of the number 2 of Irene Paredes. Now forward for Bonmati. As Barcelona try and attack, they look for Lucy Bronze in behind, cut out by Lawrence. It's now Newskin on the ball, facing her own goal, and she's been dispossessed there by Barcelona. Walsh quickly forward hit to Graham Hansen for Barcelona. Trip from behind by Lawrence, nothing given by the referee, and Chelsea can try and break. Lupot finds Lauren James this time, but she's midway inside her own half, and she feeds out to the right wing to Ritting Carmred. It's now back to Jess Carter in the right back position. Forward it goes again to Lauren James. Turns away from Engin. And then out to her left there to Niamh Charles. Good hold-up play by James as Charles goes out to the left and forward herself here to Ashley Lawrence. Running at Bronze. Goes inside to Newskin. Now James, about 30 yards from goal. Lots of yellow shirts surrounding her, so she has to go back to the halfway line to Buchanan. Charles. Forward for Newskin, who touches it in behind for Lawrence. She can have the ball in the final third here as Bronze backs off. Then she crosses to James on the edge of the box, but the flag's up on Ashley Lawrence for Chelsea. Just went a little bit early. The Canadian, who spent 6 years at PSG, Ashley Lawrence, before leaving for Chelsea in the summer. Reached one Champions League final, which was back in 2017 with PSG. Barcelona on the ball. Pass put out on halfway by Cuthbert, but it will drop back here to Kira Walsh, who is the tempo setter usually in this Barcelona side. Brought in a couple of seasons ago now from Manchester City. Kira Walsh. Here she is again, just in front of the halfway line for Barcelona. 1-2 with Bonmati. Now to her right to Bronze, inside to Walsh. First time pass forward, cut out by Charles. She keeps it away from Graham Hansen, and now Carter to Hampton in the Chelsea goal. She takes a touch, but she's being closed down, and the clearance isn't great, but it works its way to Lawrence for Chelsea, who tries to turn forward, but she's been forced to go back instead. Last touch off Graham Hansen, and there is a throw in a left-back position for Chelsea. Like I say, I think Barcelona are definitely just on top in terms of possession, but they've not really done anything too dangerous at the Chelsea goal. As they've already won it back from the throw-in, a header forward by Bronze to find Bonmati, who goes back towards the halfway line, but it's been cut out by Lauren James. Holds it up here, Lauren James. Keeps the possession for Chelsea. She's so good at that. It's so hard to get her off the ball, and she's been forced to go back here to Jess Carter on the edge of the Chelsea 18-yard box. She takes a heavy touch around Rolfer, and then the pass is short and cut out. Carter needs to try and win it back if possible, and she gets across and kicks it into the stands there, Jess Carter, who gave the ball away herself there. And it allowed Barcelona's captain, Guijarro, to come in and intercept, but she did recover well, Carter. So it's Barcelona on the ball in the final third. On the far side, there's a delivery into the box, and it's dealt with by Lawrence, kicks it to Newskin. So Chelsea keep possession. Cuthbert all the way back to Hampton in the Chelsea goal, who just lifts it out to the right wing-back position here, where Ritin Kari can't control it and keep it in play. Throwing for Barcelona, who away from home in the league, Barcelona have had a perfect record, 12 games, 12 wins. They've won a game 7-1, they've won twice 6-0. Their last defeat away from home in the league was their last defeat altogether as a club, and that was on the 21st of May. As it's Paraluelo on the ball, keeping it away from Buchanan, but the touch is a little bit heavy, but she can keep it away from Cuthbert and eventually pokes it back, but it's straight to Lauren James, and Chelsea have it again in their own half. Chelsea's Lauren James having to hold the ball up. She's now deciding to maraud down the right-hand side and plays it forward to Ritin Kari, who again forced to go back, but then she eventually plays it inside to her left to Cuthbert. It's now on the halfway line, just to the left-hand side with Charles. It's now with Kadisha Buchanan. Lifts it out to the right wing, and James touches it to Ritin Kari, then returns it to Lauren James, who's holding the ball up at the moment. And she goes back to Erin Cuthbert. To the centre circle here with Buchanan with the Nike dark blue headband on. Charles forced to go back to Hampton on the edge of the 18-yard box for Chelsea. Such good press from Barcelona. They're forcing Chelsea back so often. As Hampton finds Ritin Kari, gets beyond one challenge, plays it inside for James, who goes back to Cuthbert. And then that will be switched out to the left here to Lawrence. It's brilliant control. It's well worked by Chelsea. Ashley Lawrence with a left-footed cross that's gone deep towards the far post. Header away. Only finds Cuthbert on the edge of the box. He hurries the strike, snaps at it, and slices it over the crossbar. Definitely scored better than that, Erin Cuthbert. She scored in that first leg. The Scottish international midfielder. She has got 10 goals for Chelsea. 10 goals in the Champions League. 5 in the last 3 Champions League seasons. Barcelona play out from the back. Their goalkeeper kicks it long, up to the halfway line, where it's controlled and cut out by the chest of Niamh Charles. And it's now with Jess Carter, their number 7, who made a Champions League debut at the age of 16 against Arsenal for Birmingham. She's almost been caught out in possession there, but the ball's eventually deflected back to Hannah Hampton, who's outside of her 18-yard box at the moment. She goes long beyond the halfway line, looking for Lauren James, who can head it out wide right to Ritin Kari, who now has it for Chelsea, but as Lauren James won the header, she was coming back from an offside position. So 17 minutes in, it's still Chelsea 0, Barcelona 0, and it's 1-0 to Chelsea on aggregate. It's now with Lucy Bronze. To Kira Walsh, just inside her own half, on the edge of the centre circle. It's now Bonmati, driving away from Newskin on this right wing. She goes inside to Paraluelo, who can touch it into Graham Hansen, who's tackled by Lawrence, which won back by Barcelona, and then given away again in the 18-yard box, where Charles slices a clearance up in the air. Chance for Barcelona, headed away by Carter, helped on by Ritin Kari, controlled on the edge of the area by Guijarro, laid off to Bonmati. So many blue shirts around her, it's eventually cleared by Macario. Bronze will try and recycle it into the box. It's cut out by Newskin. Bronze will get back onto it, and she touches it in front of her with her own head and then plays it to her left towards Graham Hansen, tackled by Lawrence. And it's now Chelsea back on the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box with Charles. Turns forward and plays it forward where Macario can turn. Out to the left now to Lawrence. Back into Macario, who will lift the ball over the top here for Lauren James. It does look like she's gone early, but again the ball was overhit. Through to the goalkeeper of Katakol for Barcelona. As it does look like Barcelona are going to sign Ellie Roebuck from Manchester City. So a bit of competition for Barcelona's current number 1. 23-year-old Spanish goalkeeper. As Barcelona have it. And they're having a lot of the ball now. Settled more in the game. But they're giving it away there. Bonmati tackled by Lawrence. And again, the pass from Leupolz couldn't find any of the players up front for Chelsea. It's going to be a long, long night for Chelsea if they can't get that going. You know, when they do win the ball, they've got to try and find someone up front, not just give it straight back to Barcelona, because they do love the possession. They had 84% of the ball, Barcelona, in their last league game in the week, where they had a completely different starting 11 out. They've made 10 changes from that starting 11 as Bronze goes down to the right-hand side towards the byline. Can it be kept in here by Graham Hansen? No, it can't. It'll be dealt with by Charles, who goes forward to Ashley Lawrence, who will play the ball down the line. Newskin returns it to Lawrence, but a touch is heavy, but she can keep going with it. Brilliant from Lawrence into the space now for Lauren James, who will get there ahead of Paredes. James in the final third on the left wing, going on the outside of Paredes. She wants to cross Lauren James. Not many plays in the area. So she's forced to try and go backwards here. And she'll backheel it into the space to Macario to run into. She couldn't quite reach it before Paredes, who just about stamps the ball out of play for a throw-in. Better from Chelsea. Good running by Ashley Lawrence. And they definitely need to be getting Lauren James on the ball in good areas. That is for sure. So it'll be Ashley Lawrence in the final third to take this throw in for Chelsea. Just under 20 minutes in here. She throws it to Leupolz, who's surrounded by two yellow shirts, which she can work it back to Lawrence, who wants to cross it. She will cross it towards the centre of the box where Ritin Karnrid just deflected a header out wide. It wasn't a great header, and it can be dealt with by Badier for Barcelona, but it's not been kept in there by Fridolina Rolfo. So it'll be a Chelsea throw-in, still in the Barcelona half on the far side. Be Ritin Karnrid to take the throw-in midway inside the Barcelona half. She throws it to James, who's been dispossessed by Kira Walsh, but her pass just about reaches Enyon for Barcelona, and it's now with Graham Hansen into the centre circle. She plays out to the left wing here. It's into the space here, and it's a great ball for Para Luelo, who goes inside here to Rolfer, and then back to Guijardo. It's Barcelona keep the ball deep in the Chelsea half. Bonmati plays it in down the left wing here for Badier towards the byline. She keeps it in with the cross, and it's deflected behind for a corner by Buchanan. Made sure she had her hands behind her back there. The Canadian centre-half was not taking any chances. But it's good work down the left. 1-2 between Bonmati and Badier for Barcelona. But couldn't quite get the final delivery right. But they do have a corner, which will be taken by Caroline Graham Hansen. Be a right-footed in-swinger here. She goes short, though, to Paraluelo, who with her left foot will cross it herself. It's not a great ball to the near post, dealt with by Leupolz. It's now with Badier, one of the furthest back for Barcelona. Feeds it to the right wing here to Bronze. We know she has a delivery, and that's a great ball, curling away from the goal, and it's a header won by Carter, but it drops on the volley for Barcelona, and it's saved at the near post there by Hannah Hampton. Shot towards goal there by Graham Hansen. He's been well involved early on, Barcelona's number 10. Just inside the box. She just didn't quite catch that volley. And it was a comfortable save in the end for Hampton, as Ritin Karnrid, midway side her own half on the far side, gives it away to Bonmati. And Barcelona can try and attack here. Guijardo down the line for Badier. Cut out, though, by Carter. Slams the ball away, taking no chances. And straight back to Barcelona it goes inside their own half here with Ingrid Enyon for Barcelona. Norwegian reached the quarterfinals of the World Cup in 2023, being knocked out by Japan in the end. As Barcelona camped inside the Chelsea half for now on this near side towards the final third. Bronze tries to go forward, but it's cut out by Newskin. So it's going to be Barcelona throwing him. I think it was the last 16, just to correct myself, where Ingrid Enyon were knocked out of the World Cup in the last 16 by Japan. That's Paraluelo. Back to Bronze. It's now Bonmati, the Ballon d'Or winner from last year. Goes across to the left-hand side to their number 12. Guijardo. Pass towards Badier has been cut out by Ritin Karnrid, who can clear it up the pitch, but I think she ran out of pitch herself, so it'll be a throw-in just in front of the halfway line for Barcelona, taking quickly here to Rolfer. Keeps away from the press of Cuthbert. Barcelona forced to go back. It's good pressing from Cuthbert, but Barcelona can deal with it, and he plays it out to the right-hand side here to Paredes, who played every minute last season of that semi-final tie against Chelsea. Irene Paredes. It's now on the halfway line with number 21, Kira Walsh, making her 48th Champions League appearance of her career. She scored just twice in this competition, once this season against Rosengard in the group stage, Graham Hansen away from Lawrence, running in towards goal now. Graham Hansen into the box, one-on-one with Charles, and Niamh Charles deals with her very well and avoids the corner. Kicks it out for a throw-in on this near side. Decent defending there by Niamh Charles against Caroline Graham Hansen. Not quite in the game yet for Barcelona. She's not quite found a touch. And when she does, that could be dangerous for Chelsea. She tries to get the ball here, Graham Hansen, but gives it away. And it can be dealt with by Buchanan. Clears it straight to Bronze in the final third, who will put it into the box here with a cross, which has been headed across the box and then eventually headed away by Luke Poltz, but straight to Bonmati, who nods it down for Walsh. Goes to her left here to Guijarro. Great ball to Bonmati in the box. Turns away from Charles and shoots and scores! Via a deflection, Barcelona are level on aggregate. And of course, it has to be Bonmati. It's her 5th goal in the Champions League this season. She's now matched her tally for goals this season with 18, with the tally she got in the entirety of last season. From midfield, she comes up with so many goals, and that is one that is so precious for Barcelona. Just not being able to clear their lines, Chelsea. But it's a great ball by Guijarro to Bonmati on the edge of the box, who didn't have a lot of space in fairness, but she created it herself. Nice bit of footwork to just shift it away from Charles. And as she shot, it was probably going to be a comfortable save for Hannah Hampton, but it's took a wicked deflection off Buchanan. And it's found its way into the bottom left corner. Does have a slice of fortune to it, but those Barcelona fans do not care. They're absolutely delighted. And at Stamford Bridge, it's Chelsea 0, Barcelona 1. It's 1-1 on aggregate. Bonmati with the goal. Of course, she was a little bit lucky with the deflection, but she almost deserved the luck with the way she created the space for herself in the box to have the shot towards goal. And now she's down. Aitana Bonmati. 18 goals for the season, same as she got last season. And Guardiola has been very positive and had a lot of praise for Bonmati. And Guardiola once said that Bonmati is a football player who has me completely in love with her for the way she plays, like the women's Iniesta. So very high praise there for Bonmati from one of Barcelona's greatest ever coaches, one of the world's greatest ever coaches of all time, you could say. We've had a stop of play here because accidentally Cuthbert did kick the ball into the face of Bonmati. So we've had just a pause here because I think there was a little bit of blood coming from the nose of the Barcelona goal scorer. So she's just getting treated there. Slight bit of blood for Aitana Bonmati, who scores a 21st Champions League goal. She has scored against Chelsea previously, and that was in the final in 2021, making it 3-0 in the 20th minute. Just a nice little bit of a step over to shift it onto her right foot. And again, slightly fortunate with the deflection, but sometimes you need that in football. And we're back underway here. Barcelona on the ball. They have been for the majority of the game. They had 66% of the possession in the first leg, Barcelona. And it looks like they're going to have a similar number again today. As it's just on the edge of the 18-yard box for Barcelona's Paredes. Goes across to a left to Enyon. It's now with Honor Bardier, who made a Manchester United debut against Chelsea back in September 2020. Spent 3 years at Chelsea, at Manchester United, Bardier, before returning to Barcelona. As Walsh keeps it away from Cuthbert, and out to the left it goes. It's a brilliantly weighted pass to Bardier into the final third of a ball here to Rolfer. Inside to Bardier on the edge of the box, can't quite work it there to Bonmati. And it's now out to the Chelsea left here to Lawrence, who will drive forward with the ball here. Goes inside to her right to Newskin in the Barcelona half. Into the space out wide left for Lauren James, but can't quite find her with the ball. Just again over here. Asking too much of Lauren James to get on the end of these pretty poor passes at the moment from Chelsea. It's been pretty scruffy. Obviously, they're playing a bit of a different style in this game because usually Chelsea are the team who dominate others, but they've got to realise that Barcelona, just in their DNA, have the ball. They have the majority of the possession, so they're having to set up slightly differently, Chelsea. As it is Barcelona coming forward down their right-hand side with Bonmati. Loads of space for her, and she plays out to the right to Graham Hansen in the final third, outside the box, one-on-one with Charles. Plays it into the box for Bonmati, who wants to shoot with the left foot. Decides against it. Got a back to goal at the moment, then tries to backheel it through for Graham Hansen, and he works towards her, and she cuts it across. And it's Cuthbert to put it behind for a corner, surely. Barcelona really in their rhythm now. Brilliant 1-2 between Graham Hansen and Bonmati. Bonmati with that backheel in behind. It just deflected off the foot of Charles into Graham Hansen, who cut it across for Paraluelo. And from 6 yards out, she almost had the finish to put Barcelona ahead on the tie. But it was well dealt with by Cuthbert. Just got in front of her to put it behind for a corner. So it's going to be a left-footed in-swinger here from Paraluelo. Barcelona's number 7. Cross goes in. Deep one to the far post. It's curling in towards the goal. It's well dealt with by Hampton, but not dealt with by the Chelsea defence at the moment as they try and clear it still. Rolfer with a shot blocked by Buchanan. It drops here for Bardier, who goes far left for Barcelona here. As they try and put it back into the box. It's Enyon with the cross in. Headed towards goal by Guijarro. But it's straight into the hands of Hannah Hampton. And half an hour in, it's Barcelona, the team on top. You know, the first 10 minutes were pretty even. Neither side really having control of the game, but it's definitely switched that now. Barcelona well in control. As Hampton goes out to the Chelsea left here towards Ashley Lawrence. Cut out by the head of Bronze. It deflects off Graham Hansen to Lawrence. It's rather unfortunate, but Chelsea will take it. Lawrence on halfway, near side. Pass forward and through for James. I think she's on. Flag stays down for now. Being forced out wide by Enyon, but Lauren James tries to chop inside. It comes off Enyon to Macario, who will take over. Slips it back through for James, who can avoid the goal kick and puts it across, and it's hit the crossbar. What a miss. Flag goes up, which might save the blushes of Melanie Leupold, but that is an opportunity. Lauren James down the left-hand side, chopping inside. The ball was kicked away from her, so Macario took over on the edge of the box. Macario slipped it back through for James, who I think has been flagged offside, but with VAR that would have been close. James was able to pull it across to Leupold, who in the box all alone had the left-footed strike, and she leant back and somehow from 7 yards out hit the crossbar. Thankfully for herself, the flag went up, so it might not have counted. But that's a huge chance. Poor clearance from Barcelona, but Ritten Karmad gives it straight back again. But Barcelona go long and can't keep it on halfway. It's now with Leupold forward for Newskin. Slides to try and keep it, but can't move it away from Graham Hansen. It's now Barcelona with it. Tidy passing, quick passing as well. And it's now with Guijarro. 25-year-old midfielder, captain. Joined Barcelona in 2015. Guijarro. She plays it out to the right-hand side here to Bronze, just inside her own half here. Lucy Bronze. So Paredes. No press here from Chelsea, so Barcelona's number 2 can just take a time with the ball. Simple 1-2 with Bonmati. Still with Paredes. Forward beyond the halfway line. Graham Hansen tackled by Lawrence, but again, Chelsea try and shift it too quickly. Can't work it to Newskin on the left wing. And it's now back with Barcelona inside their own half here. Like I say, in last year's final, Barcelona were 2-0 down in 37 minutes. Scored all their 3 goals to come back in the second half. The winner from a former Wolfsburg player, Fridolina Rolfer, in the 70th minute of the game. Does mean that Barcelona have won 2 Champions Leagues in the last 3 seasons, losing the final 2 seasons ago to Lyon, who they could face in the final this season, as they threaded the ball through and laid off to Bonmati, about 10 yards inside the Chelsea half in a central area. Works it to the left here to Guijarro. On a Badier's free on the left, and she finds her. Bardier wants the 1-2 with Rolfer, and she makes it happen, and the cross goes in, but off the side netting and behind for a goal kick. Looks like they've got it on lock on both sides, Barcelona. They're working it nicely down the right-hand side and also down the left. It's a nice link-up between Bardier and Rolfer down this left-hand side. Didn't quite materialise into anything there, but the 1-2 worked successfully. So it remains 1-1 on aggregate. Chelsea yet to have any big chances. We did have that crossbar hit for Leupold just before, but in the build-up, James was flagged for offside. as Hampton takes the goal kick. It's a great kick. It's very long. It's beyond the halfway line. It's controlled by Macario, straight to Newskin, who now works it into Cuthbert in the centre circle, into the space for Ritten Carnwarid, who will get there for sure, ahead of Bardier in the final third. The cross needs to be right. There's 3 bodies in there for Chelsea, and she puts the cross in, and it's into the hands of Coll, the goalkeeper. Easy catch for her in the end. No one attacking it. Not a great ball. There's no curl on it. It needed to curl away from the goalkeeper to try and reach a Macario or possibly a Lauren James. As the goalkeeper for Barcelona goes long and out to the left towards Rolfer. Goes over her head and Jess Carter. And it'll roll out for a Chelsea throw-in on the halfway line on that far side. But as I was mentioning before, Jess Carter made her Champions League debut at the age of 16 against Arsenal when she was at Birmingham. She won man of the match as well in that game. Almost exactly 10 years ago now. On the 24th of March. As Chelsea break and attack. Lauren James tackled in the box by Bardier, but it will drop here to Macario. She's tackled by Guijarro, but Macario tries to win it back and she can't, but Cuthbert will intercept the pass forward for Barcelona. Cuthbert, great switch out to the left to Ashley Lawrence, who enters the box with a heavy touch, then onto her right foot. She'll go for the shot, which is headed away by Lucy Bronze. Still needs to be dealt with by Barcelona. It's not, and Macario will shoot it! And it's a brilliant save down low to her right there by Kata Coll. A really good improvised effort there by Katarina Macario. Rolfer failed to clear it. Macario took on the left-footed shot from just outside the box. And that's definitely going into the bottom left corner. That's a really good save by the goalkeeper. Pushing it away for a corner. Definitely some of Chelsea's better stuff so far. As Macario will take a right-footed in-swinging corner here. Right in front of those travelling Barcelona supporters, who are making the 4-hour round trip to London to try and see their team reach another Champions League final. As Macario will eventually take the corner. It's an in-swinger. It's towards the goalkeeper who has to punch it away. Almost went all the way in there by Macario. As Chelsea recycle it in the box. Ritten Carnwarid with the ball in. Straight to the goalkeeper. It's a really poor cross by Ritten Carnwarid. She's done that twice in a matter of 2 minutes. It just needs to be better. The first cross from Macario was decent. Again, if a Chelsea player was attacking it, you know, maybe putting a bit more pressure on the Barcelona goalkeeper, that could have resulted in something a little bit more dangerous. But then the second ball in by Ritten Carnwarid, again, no curl on it. Just straight as an arrow into the gloves of the Barcelona goalkeeper. But I hope everyone is enjoying this live stream. I'm thoroughly enjoying this first 37 minutes of the second leg. It's 1-1 on aggregate between these two sides. It's with Chelsea in the final third. Left wing Macario gets away from Bronze. That's brilliant skill. Across it goes to Cuthbert. Lays it off a Loopholtz. The referee gets in the way. And she doesn't stop it because he didn't touch her, but she got in the way of Loopholtz. Barcelona try and get it away with Graham Hansen. But a ball down the line is misdirected and it can be collected by Chelsea's Buchanan. And then Charles Fruit for Macario, again just misdirected through to the goalkeeper. But the referee's got in the way a few times. He just needs to be careful. Emma Hayes just having a word with the fourth official, Frida Klarlund, a Danish fourth official. As Melanie Loopholtz wins it back brilliantly off Bonmati. Niamh Charles on this near side. 5-yard pass to Lawrence. Turns away from Graham Hansen. It's now Newskin who can't quite keep it away. Oh, it's a short pass though. And Newskin has got a chance here. She squares it. Lauren James misses it. Ritten Carnwarid back to goal. Lays it off. Cuthbert again with a sliced attempt. And over and wide. What an opportunity for Chelsea. Given to them by Barcelona. Newskin tried to play it to Macario. It instead went to Paredes, who wanted to go back to her own goalkeeper but played the pass ridiculously short, which allowed Newskin to break into the box, and instead of taking the shot on, Newskin squared it to James, who just could not quite reach the ball across. She stretched for it and then eventually went to Ritten Carnwarid, who laid off Cuthbert, and the chance went dead when she blazed it over the bar. But just little errors like that, and they don't come around often in this Barcelona team. They don't usually make errors like that. But that was a really short back pass by Irene Paredes, but she's got away with it. And Chelsea need to try and take one of those chances next time around. As Niamh Charles in a more central area. Plays it forward to the halfway line to Newskin. Keeps it away from Bonmati. Plays it to her left, just a bit behind her, to Lawrence, He wants to go down the line. She will go down the line. It deflects, though, to Kira Walsh, who can't quite keep it away from Lupoltz. It's now Charles to take over. Plays it to her right to Macario, and then across once more to Jess Carter. Bit of time on the ball here for the number 7 for Chelsea, who quickly plays it out to the right wing here to Ritting-Karin. 1-on-1 with Badier. Ritting-Karin with the ball. Running towards goal, and she takes on Badier. That's brilliant from Ritting-Karin, and the cross is a lot better this time, but it's gone behind everyone instead. There was a bit of curl on that one, but not to a blue shirt, as Barcelona want to break it, but Buchanan sweeps up at the back. Brilliant defending to keep the ball away from Paraluelo, who wins it back for Barcelona, but the last touch comes off her on the near side, and that should be a throw-in for Chelsea. And it will be. I think we might just have a player down here. Yeah, we do have a player down at the moment. It's the player who just made the mistake beforehand. Irene Paredes, the 5'10" Barcelona centre-back who's making a 50th Champions League appearance at the age of 32. Very experienced, played every minute in the World Cup for Spain in that win. She's labelled as a commanding in the air and a ball-playing defender. Her ball-playing there just let down slightly with that short pass, almost allowed Chelsea in for a goal which would have equalised on the night but would have put them ahead on the aggregate scoreline. She's back to her feet as both sets of players just going towards their technical area just to get some information as there's a break in play. Not quite sure what happened in all honesty to Paredes, but it looks like she'll be okay to continue. So it'll be a throw-in inside the Chelsea half on this near side for their captain, Niamh Charles, who's coming up to 4 years at the club. Came through at Liverpool, where she was brought in from. She does have 1 goal this season in the Champions League, Charles. That was away at Real Madrid in the group stage. And she throws it over the halfway line beyond Cuthbert, nodded back to Cuthbert by James, and Cuthbert could try and keep it for Chelsea. Strong tackle in there, but it can't stop the ball from going to a yellow shirt, and eventually it's cleared for Barcelona. Up to Paraluelo, who can control it beautifully and backheels it into Bonmati. And out to the left, it's a short pass, that's unlike Bonmati, and Chelsea can try and break. Ritting-Karin trying to slip the ball through to her right to Lauren James, but again intercepted, and Barcelona are back on the ball themselves here. Lucy Bronze charging beyond the halfway line here on this near side. Slows the game down, Bronze, and goes all the way back here to Paredes. So Bronze down the line to Graham Hansen. To a left to Bonmati. Can't go inside once more to Paraluelo. Cut out by Charles to Lawrence. Keeps it away from Graham Hansen. She's got facing her own goal, and she has to go back to Charles, who can clear it up the field for Chelsea. Headed forward by Paredes. As far as Lupoltz, who slides in, kicks the ball away to Cuthbert, who goes all the way back to Hampton, and Chelsea can start again at the back. 3 minutes until half-time. As Hampton kicks it with her left foot, and it's brought down by Lawrence to Charles. Low ball into Newskin. Now Charles again. Forward it goes to Macario. Touch isn't great. Taken off her there by Guerrero. It's now Bonmati on the right wing. She's forced to go back to Bronze. It's now Kira Walsh. Keeping it simple to Bronze. It's now on the halfway line with Paredes. It goes to a centre-back partner of Enyon. Kira Walsh. Down the right side again to Bonmati. Graham Hansen takes it on the turn brilliantly and gets away from Lawrence. Chops beyond her as well. Oh, this is brilliant. Graham Hansen will shoot, and it will be deflected off Buchanan again, but this time behind for a corner. That's where we know Graham Hansen can be dangerous when she receives it like that. Took on Ashley Lawrence and Melanie Lupoltz there to get the shot away from 25 yards. It was going to be a big ask for her to get it in the back of the net, but she has won a corner anyway, so still alive for Barcelona. Would be an awful time to concede here for Chelsea. Right on half-time. As an in-swinging cross goes in, and it's a header dealt with there by Newskin. Kept alive, though, for Barcelona by Bonmati, but couldn't quite find Graham Hansen. So it's a throw-in for Chelsea. Midway side their own half there on the near side is Emma Hayes, currently in conversation with Denise Redditt, her assistant. You know, their game plans worked decently so far, Chelsea. Like I said, they were a little unfortunate with the goal, with the fact it took a massive deflection, because without the deflection, it definitely doesn't go in. But Barcelona have been on top. They've had a lot of the ball. They've created some decent chances. As Charles throws it long down the line, it'll be given chase to by Lauren James, but it'll be Paredes to get there first. The pass back's pretty risky, but it can be kept in by goalkeeper Katakol with her chest, and she plays it into Ingrid Enyen. It's now to the left back on Bardier. Lays it off here into Guijarro. It's now to this near side to Bronze. Forward. Deflects off Lawrence. Picked up by Charles. It's now Lou Paul tackled by Bonmati. Barcelona have players over him. One's out to the left of Rolfer. On the edge of the area. Strikes it towards goal. And it was going towards the top right corner. And it's not that far away from Barcelona's Champions League match winner from last season. Fridolina Rolfer. Looking for a 30th Barcelona goal. And just needed to get it curled more inside. And that could have been dangerous, that. As we are aiming and we are nearing the end of this first half. We've got 15 seconds left of the 45 and then we'll have any added on time. Hampton goes long off the back of Macario's head. And it's picked up here for Barcelona by Graham Hansen. So again, the away side on the ball. As we've got 3 minutes of added on time here at Stamford Bridge. It's on Barcelona's far side. Last touch there off Rolfer. And that'll be a throw-in for Chelsea. Carter kicking the ball away from Rolfer, but kicking it back off the Swedish winger out there on the left-hand side. So winning Chelsea the throw-in. Jess Carter throws it forward, heading straight back to her and beyond her, where Buchanan needs to chase it now. Paraluelo chasing her down, and she's not going to let her go here. Buchanan can turn away, though, and play it down the line. That is brilliant from Buchanan, but giving away. Poor touch by Ritten Carnray, but Carter helped her out, tackling the ball away on the edge of the area. She's been very strong in this game so far. Jess Carter with a tackling. It's Rolfer in the final third, down the left-hand side. Can work the crossing ahead of Carter, but Buchanan's the one to head away. Ritten Carnray touches it to Macario, then gets the return. It's now with Cuthbert, who spins and goes back here to Carter, who can eventually clear it, but it's a low cross. It's a low clearance, not well dealt with, but the ball back forward by Kira Walsh is very heavy. And out of play it goes for a goal kick for Chelsea. As if they can survive till half-time at just one down in the game and keep it at 1-1 on an aggregate, that will be a decent first half for Chelsea, because it's been a difficult one for them to do. It's a game where you've got to be on it against Barcelona. Your concentration levels have got to be absolutely perfect, as Carter's clearance out of play. Barcelona throwing midway inside the Chelsea half here on the near side, as with just over a minute left to play, have added on time. Barcelona would love to nick another goal. As Bronze gets the return from the throw-in. Goes behind it to Bob Matty on the halfway line. Finds Paredes at the back. And then returns it to Bonmati. Taking the time on the ball here. Laying it off for Walsh. And it's now with Guijarro. To Enyen, the left centre-half. Wants to go forward. Will go forward. Out to the left to Rolfer. On the halfway line. Being closed down by Ritten Carnray. Does find the pass back here to Paredes. 30 seconds left of the first half. Lucy Bronze on halfway. Taking it forward. Going to the left to Kira Walsh. Returning it to Bronze. Then back into the Barcelona half here to Paredes. Then back once more to the goalkeeper. Good pressing there from Chelsea to keep them away. To keep Barcelona away from their own goal right before the end of the first half. As the goalkeeper plays a pass forward to the halfway line. It's almost going to be behind Buchanan. And she slides and she touches it out to the Barcelona left, where Paraluelo can play a ball through into the box here for Rolfer, who just drags the shot well wide. And that should be the final chance of the first half. Got away with that there, Chelsea. Too easy. The ball from the goalkeeper through towards Paraluelo, who got there in the end. And the Rolfer, usually a lot better than that with the strike. And that will be where the first half ends at Stamford Bridge. It is Chelsea 0, Barcelona 1. It is 1-1 on aggregate. It was a pretty even first 10 minutes. Both teams tried to get a foothold in the game. But once Barcelona got ticking and got into their rhythm, they were giving Chelsea lots of problems, and the goal was scored in the 25th minute. It was a really good pass from Patrick Guijarro to find Bonmati on the edge of the box, who just did a little bit of a step over, sent it to her right foot, just created that little bit of space for her as she entered the area, and she shot towards goal. It did take a wicked deflection off Buchanan, which definitely helped it on its way. Without the deflection, I don't think it would have gone in. But Barcelona won't mind at all. It's a goal that puts them level in the tie. And at Stamford Bridge after the opening 48 minutes of the first half. It is Chelsea 0, Barcelona 1. And it is 1-1 on aggregate. All to play for in the fourth 45 minutes of this tie. The second 45 minutes of tonight. And it's definitely Chelsea who are having to have less of the ball. And when they do get it, they're not doing a great amount with it. In all honesty, they're doing a lot of long balls in behind because Barcelona play a high line. So obviously, if they can catch that line out and get Lauren James in behind, then that could result in a goal. But a lot of those balls in behind towards Lauren James are just a little bit all over the place. They've not found her that often. It's actually when Chelsea have played on the floor is when they've actually looked a lot more dangerous going towards the Barcelona goal. When it was 1-0, I think about 10 minutes before the end of the half, Lou Potts hit the crossbar for Chelsea from around 6 yards out, but in the build-up there was an offside, so it might not have counted. I know Macario hit a volley. Again, similar time, around the 35th minute, Macario hit a left-footed shot towards the bottom left corner from the edge of the box. It's forced a really good save from the Barcelona goalkeeper. So but Chelsea have had sniffs at goal. It's not like they've done absolutely nothing. They've definitely, at times, looked like they can score, but overall, in terms of the possession of the play, of course, as usual, it is Barcelona who are dominating. But if you are new, if you could like and subscribe, that would be absolutely fantastic. Got another commentary coming on Monday where promoted Leicester City look to try and wrap up the league title when they travel to Preston North End. And then we're also going to be covering the Borussia Dortmund PSG first leg of their Champions League semi-final. So a lot of huge games to look forward to on this channel as we come towards the end of the season. But for Chelsea, I definitely think there'll be a sense of frustration with the fact that they were able to close out Barcelona away from home, but at Stamford Bridge they've conceded within the first half. But that's why that Cuthbert goal in the first leg was so important for Chelsea, to give them that lead, just to give them something to fall back on. So if they do concede in the second leg, which they have, they at least are just level. I do think if Barcelona go ahead in this, it might be difficult for Chelsea to work their way back in it. Because if Chelsea have to commit more bodies forward and leave more spaces, then that kind of works in Barcelona's favour, because that's what they pounce on, spaces in the attacking third, where they can just play through you. For Chelsea, I do think it's one of those games where they can't let this one get away. You know, they lost the Conti Cup final to Arsenal in extra time. They failed at Manchester United in the FA Cup semi-final. I mean, that was a frustrating day for Chelsea. We covered that game on the channel, and they absolutely dominated Manchester United, but just couldn't find the way through. That's not me having a dig at United. Manchester United performed brilliantly defensively and just didn't allow Chelsea to get themselves level in that game to force it to extra time. And then it's not a definite that Chelsea will win the league. They're battling with Manchester City, and Manchester City currently are top by 3 points. Chelsea do have a game in hand, but again, it's no guarantee that those games in hand are wins. And, Emma Hayes going at the end of the season, if she can leave with a Champions League, that would be something special. And what I mean is they don't want this to get away from them. Is the fact that I know it's Barcelona, but the level going into the second half, they're at Stamford Bridge, they're at home. This is a real opportunity for them to get to another final and try and win this competition. How different would it be if they were away from home instead? Say, for example, they won the first leg at home 1-0, and they have to go then to Barcelona away and try and defend that 1-goal lead, and they were going into the second half of that game level and aggregate. I just think that the fact they're at home at Stamford Bridge, they've really got to use that to their advantage and try and take this game a bit more to Barcelona at times. I know it can be difficult because Barcelona just punish you like that if you give them the ball too easily or you allow too many spaces. But at the end of the day, at this stage of the competition, it does not matter at all who you come up against. They're going to be an unbelievable side more often than not. So, again, it's almost Chelsea just having a bit more confidence in themselves as well. Understanding that they're going to get their opportunities and they've just got to take them. Any errors for Barcelona, they've got to be pounced upon. They played a short back pass, Barcelona, for one of the chances. It was Paredes towards the goalkeeper. Nuskin cut it out and played it across, and James couldn't quite get on the end of it, and eventually the chance went. But realistically, they're chances you've got to take, and Chelsea didn't that time. Instead of showing the Erin Cuthbert goal in the first leg, bit of space in the box, and it's a fantastic strike, just enough height on it to get it beyond the Barcelona goalkeeper. Took a slight nick into that right hand side of the goal, but doesn't mean it's not a brilliant finish from Erin Cuthbert, who is a decent scoring midfielder, the Scottish international. She's now got 59 Chelsea goals in her career. She joined in 2016 from Glasgow City. She's often captain at times, Erin Cuthbert, alongside Niamh Charles, with the fact that Chelsea are missing at the moment Millie Bright. Even though Millie Bright is back in the team now, she's back on the bench. She's been injured all season. They're obviously without Sam Kerr as well, who's usually a leader for Chelsea. But for Barcelona, at the moment, this competition it's one they really enjoy playing in. They have won their last 3 semi-final ties, because they have reached the final in the last 3 seasons. The only time they haven't reached the final was back in 2020, when it was just a one-off game against Wolfsburg, because it was during COVID. So it was that time where there wasn't 2 legs in Champions League knockout games. It was just a one-off game. And the lowest finish they've had in the Champions League was a quarter-final exit in 2018, but they were knocked out by Lyon, which is no shame to go out to Lyon, who are absolute giants in the women's football world. Lucy Bronze was very successful with Lyon during her 3 years there in France, where she won the competition 3 times with them. But I do think these 2 teams, looking at the final, if they get there, I think they'll want PSG. I don't think they'll want to take on Lyon. But at the end of the day, it's the Champions League final. It could be anyone's game. You don't know who's going to turn up, if a team's going to turn up, or anything like that. Chelsea's only Champions League final, they were 4-0 down in 36 minutes. So, Champions League finals can do weird things to the biggest of players. It's such a massive moment in a player's career that sometimes it can just be a bit too much for them at times. But we don't know who's through yet. We are all level here. Chelsea have the slight advantage of the fact they're at home, if we're going to try and find any advantage for them. But it's definitely Barcelona who are more settled in the game for sure, constantly knocking the ball around. But the second half will be getting underway a couple of minutes' time. I think it's definitely one of those games, isn't it, where you'll probably just be a little bit... I don't think scared's the right word, but just a little bit just hesitant to make changes, because in games like this, when you've got such a set plan, the player you bring on, they need to get up to the speed of the game immediately. And if they don't, they can sometimes be caught out, which then leads to conceding big chances. So I think it'll be one of those games maybe where changes are only made if it's either an injury or a player physically can't continue, in terms of the fact they might be tired and they don't have the legs to finish the game off. It can be so risky to make changes in games like this. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure both managers have got their ideas of what they need to do to win this game in the second half, because I don't think any of the two teams will want extra time or penalties, because that is just extremely stressful for all involved. But Chelsea's record in Champions League semi-finals aren't great. They've played in 4 Champions League semi-finals, Chelsea, winning just the one against Bayern Munich when they reached the final in 2021, and they've lost 3. They did have a very crazy quarter-final last season when they knocked out Lyon, which, again, a brilliant achievement. It's so hard to play Lyon. But Chelsea beat them in the quarterfinals last season, and it was just a crazy game. They lost 2-1 in the second leg, Chelsea, but they won 1-0 away in the first leg. So it was 2-2, and extra time it went to, and the goals were scored late to force it to penalties. They scored very late, and they were able to get through. That game was at Stamford Bridge, and apparently there was a brilliant atmosphere. To take that game to penalties, Chelsea scored a 128th minute equaliser from the penalty spot through Maren Mjelde, who is on the bench tonight for Chelsea, 34-year-old. So just shows how dramatic that game was. And even though they probably don't want a game as dramatic as that, if it has to be dramatic to get them through, I think Chelsea will accept that and play the game. There's both sets of players here in the tunnel about to re-emerge back onto the field of play here. So, we're about to get back underway here. Chelsea have a little team huddle before we kick off for this second half at Stamford Bridge. It needs to be a big performance as the rain starts to pour at Stamford Bridge. I'm not sure who that will suit more. Having rain, I think probably the Chelsea players are a bit more used to it, as Barcelona will kick us off, kicking right to left. Chelsea, left to right here, as it's 1-1 on aggregate. 1-0 on the night, a Bonmati goal for Barcelona, which was heavily deflected, but it was a goal nonetheless. And the second half is underway here at Stamford Bridge. Like I say, Chelsea having to allow Barcelona to start with the ball with kick-off, so it's from the start Chelsea having to deal with Barcelona's possession. And Barcelona advancing to the Chelsea half with a ball out to the left to Rolfer. Her pass deflects to Lauren James. And she can turn forward and plays it into the path of Ritin Karmrid to her right. And Ritin Karmrid is running towards goal. Down the right flank. Chops back. Keeps the ball for Chelsea. Having to go to Jess Carter here. And then Jess Carter goes to Buchanan on the halfway line. And Chelsea have to slightly restart. But in fairness, it does mean they keep the ball. Buchanan clipping it out to the right-hand side here to Ritin Karmrid. Controls well. 1-on-1 with Bardier. Goes inside to James and gets the return. Brilliant football from Chelsea. Ritin Karmrid goes for an early cross into the box. The goalkeeper comes for it and gets it. Newskin making the run there for Chelsea. Much better football. And as we were talking about at half-time, Chelsea have looked best in this game when playing football on the floor, not going long and in behind, trying to catch out the Barcelona high line. And Buchanan wins a big header on halfway for Chelsea. Cuthbert in the midfield, working away towards this near side and going backwards to Carter. And back down the line for Cuthbert. Lifts it down the right channel here where Lauren James will chase it. Enyon will get there first and goes back to the goalkeeper of Katakol in a 6-yard box, who can play it forward to the edge of the area to Kira Walsh. Brilliant pass. It's now back in Barcelona possession to the left wing to Rolfer. Bonmati. It's now across to the right here to Paredes. Now Bronze right on halfway on the far side. Looking for her options, taking her time with this next pass. Looking for Paraluelo, but it's away from the Spaniard and through for Buchanan, who goes to the goalkeeper for Chelsea, Hannah Hampton, with the left foot. Clears it forward. It's not got great distance on it, and it's controlled by Kira Walsh, taken over by Bonmati, who's drifted out to this Barcelona right wing again. But plays a pass across the pitch to Enyon. Into the space now for Bardier. Edge of the area. Onto a right foot. Playing it across here. Bonmati has a back to goal. Goes to Guijarro. Wants the 1-2 with Rolfer. Can't quite make it happen. Cut out by Carter. Giving away though straight away to Kira Walsh. Definitely a player you don't want to give it away to. And Bardier lifts it into the box. Chance for Barcelona. Ball goes through. Who will get there first? Slide challenge goes in. No penalty given. But the shot deflects away for Barcelona. And Chelsea need to clear. Rolfer in the area. On a right foot. Shoots. Good block that by Cuthbert. But Barcelona will come again. The block can only go as far as Paredes. Bronze, 25 yards out, just towards the Barcelona right. Has to go back herself here to Paredes. Then forward to Paraluelo. Back to goal, shields it well. Plays to Bonmati. 1-2 with Bronze. Bonmati has it towards the byline. Stops the ball, slips, but keeps it away from Charles. Bonmati moving away from the 18-yard box and finding Paredes. Bronze back to Paredes. Everyone behind the ball for Chelsea. Barcelona have been forced back, but then they try and go forward. Kick away from by Carter. Well, as far as Walsh, who goes forward here to Graham Hansen, who can take on Charles. It's brilliant skill towards the byline again in the box. Chops back. So good. Cross finds Guijarro, who backheels it to Bardier, who tries to shoot first time, but gets right underneath it. And it curls away for a goal kick. Chelsea had a half-decent opening 2 minutes to the half, but Barcelona have bounced back. Niamh Charles with the slide tackle on the penalty spot there, but I think she just about nicked the ball away from Paraluelo, which was key and important. And eventually the attack fizzled out. So goal kick for Barcelona, taken out towards their right-hand side, where it's Chelsea goal kick, to their right-hand side where Ritin Karmid forces a throw in as the ball deflects last off Bardier. So Ritin Karmid with the throw in at the moment. Throws it down the line for Macario. Kicks it back to Ritin Karmid, then forward for James. Macario again, all a bit compact on this right-hand side, but Macario wants to go on a roan. Can she beat Kira Walsh? She tries to shield the ball behind. She can't shield it behind. Oh, a foul's been given. Macario kept it in, but she's been found guilty of a foul on Kira Walsh in a Barcelona left-back position. Macario wasn't best pleased. I think she thought it was a little bit soft of a free kick to give. Shoulder to shoulder, and then Kira Walsh just slips a little. Don't think that's a foul for me, personally. I do think that is very harsh on Katarina Macario. Chelsea have it back on halfway. Ball forward by Lawrence to Macario and then returns it to Lawrence. On the far side for Chelsea. New skin. Back to Macario now. Goes across to the halfway line to the right centre half of Carter. Now Ritin Karmid. Run being made by Cuthbert, but she'll use James instead, who just dropped a little bit deeper for the ball. Plays it to a left to Macario. Caught in possession by Bon Matti illegally, according to the referee. And that'll be a free kick this time for Macario, who just gave one away for Chelsea. Yeah, Bon Matti, clear foul that. None of the ball, kicking the right leg of Macario. Aitan Bon Matti, current scorer for Barcelona in this game. So the free kick is very central here, which isn't great for Chelsea. Not a lot of an angle for a cross. And it's about 40 yards from goal, so no chance for a shot here. It'll have to be a delivery in. I'll be very shocked if there's a shot going on. I know the goalkeeper's quite small at 5'7", and the nets are pretty big, but it'd be a big ask to score from here. Macario is the only one stood over it for Chelsea at the moment. So it'll be a Macario delivery to the far post. All on her own. Charles can head it across here. Deflects out to the edge of the box where it's cleared by Bon Matti. Very strange how Charles was able to run at the far post all alone as Macario recycles it into the box. What across that is brought down by Ritin Karmid. Tackled though and cleared by Barcelona. That could have been something special with that pass and touch. And Rolfer tripped by Lauren James. And that'll be a free kick for Barcelona in a left back position. Taken quickly and Barcelona get playing here. Chelsea have lost 4 times this season. Twice in the WSL. Away to Arsenal and at home to Manchester City. Also lost to Arsenal in the Conti Cup as well. There's Barcelona just in front of the halfway line. Guijarro to Walsh. Having to go backwards to keep it away from Newskin. And it's now with Enyon. Out to this near side, just beyond the halfway line for Barcelona with Bardier. Finds Rolfer, who is caught in possession, surrounded by 2 Chelsea shirts, and Ritin Karmid brings it away. And she's bursting away down the right-hand side, but again, loses out this time to Guijarro. Really good working back by the central midfielder, having to cover at left-back. Barcelona can play out here. Rolfer bringing it forward. Finding the pass towards Paraluelo, who's tripped on the halfway line. That is a clear and obvious foul. Free kick for Barcelona. Foul there by Khadisha Buchanan. Decent footwork there by Salma Paraluelo, who, as mentioned before, 30 goals this season in all competitions, but she's been rather quiet tonight, I thought. I think Chelsea have dealt with her quite well, the 20-year-old, who's doubled her tally this season. She only scored 15 last season in all competitions. She's now on 30 for this season. Chelsea having to defend again in their own half, but Barcelona haven't been as threatful in the second half so far as they were in the first, having to just bide their time for an opportunity. And in fairness, I know it was a completely different Barcelona starting 11 in the league when they had to play on Wednesday night, but Barcelona did trail in that game twice. They went 1-0 down in the 10th minute, and then they were 2-1 down in the 19th minute, which is very unlike Barcelona. They don't concede in the league at all. Before that game in the league, they'd only conceded 6 from 23. But to go behind was rare to see. But again, like I say, it was a completely rotated Barcelona side. As Hampton for Chelsea kicks out of play. Throwing for Barcelona just inside the Chelsea half on this near side. Barcelona on the ball. 10 minutes of the second half played. Still all level on aggregate. As Bronze over the top of the Chelsea defence, and Paraluelo can't quite control it. That was an almost moment for Barcelona. That would have been a goal if she could have controlled it. It would have been a difficult touch to pull off, hence why she didn't do it. But if it did come off, that was her away running at goal. It's Hampton forward for Chelsea to the halfway line, where it's headed on by Macario. Lauren James gets there ahead of Enyon and plays it into the space for Ashley Lawrence, but it will be Bronze to get there first to clear its deflects towards Newskin, who then slides in and fouls a Barcelona player, the Paredes. Newskin sliding in. That's no way a foul. Paredes literally wasn't even near Newskin, who was sliding in, and she just fell to the ground. Talk about buying a free kick. I mean, that is as clever as you get. Talk about conning a ref. That's crazy. Wow. Doesn't matter, though, because Chelsea have won it back through Niamh Charles. She wants to go forward. She goes to her left instead. Still in the Chelsea half here with Newskin. Slips on the ball, but can kick it away while she's on the deck. And it's a brilliant ball to Cuthbert. On once more to the right here to Ritin Kamrad, who's been forced to go back into her own half here to Jess Carter. She then goes forward to James. Keeps it away from two Barcelona players. And Lawrence is away on the left-hand side, and she's been found. Flag will stay down. I think she's on here. Into the box. Lawrence crosses. Newskin's the one who's there, and she shoots towards goal. I skims off the post. What an opportunity for Newskin, who has been scoring this season for Chelsea since joining from Frankfurt in the summer. She scored 10 times this season. She got a brace in the quarter-final first leg against Ajax. And as she had to stretch out to play that ball towards goal, she's just nicked the outside of the post, aiming towards the far corner. It's probably the biggest chance we've had of the second half. It's fell Chelsea's way, but it couldn't be converted. And it remains Chelsea 0, Barcelona 1. Still the 1-1 on aggregate. But that is a huge opportunity. That really is. Well worked by Lauren James to find that ball in behind for Ashley Lawrence, and the cutback was almost perfect. Did just mean Newskin had to stretch as the ball was played, but like I say, almost for Chelsea this time around. Barcelona in the right back position. They try and bring it away here. Go inside to Paraluelo, who's tackled by Ritin Kamrad. And then Lupolt's forced all the way back to Hampton outside the 18-yard box for Chelsea. Takes the time on the ball. Goes long and out to the left here towards Newskin. Loses out in the end, and it's Barcelona to head it forward. Picked up by Cuthbert in the centre circle, but she's tackled by Bonmati. And then Guijarro tackled and fouled by Buchanan. Yeah, the card given by the referee. Buchanan can't believe she's been put there. Oh, she's been sent off. Now the game's changed. Khadisha Buchanan, red carded for Chelsea. She has a wry smile because she can't quite believe she's been sent off here. And this will change the game in every sense of the word. It was Guijarro, the one with the ball. Buchanan went in rather strong. But enough for a second yellow, I'm not too sure. Buchanan does lunge in with that right boot and does catch the right foot of Guijarro. And she's been given her marching orders. She's off the pitch with half an hour to play. This does change everything now for Chelsea. It's hard enough playing Barcelona with 11 players on the pitch, never mind 10. Second yellow card for Buchanan. Big call by the referee. Juliana Demetrescu, the Romanian referee, sent off Buchanan here. It was a second yellow, so it wasn't a straight red for the foul. And Buchanan scored a first Chelsea goal in their last WSL game against Aston Villa, and they could be behind her. In the box, Paraluelo with the shot, big block by Charles. Drops to Bardier, sends it out to the left here, to Guijarro. In behind for Rolfer. That's a brilliant pass. She just about keeps it in, and the cross goes in, and it's headed over the bar. Paraluelo, again, decent opportunity that this time for the number 7. As Barcelona want to try and capitalise on this extra player they've got on the pitch now. Buchanan sent off. She was only yellow carded 5 minutes before the sending off. As I think Hannah Hampton's gone down here for Chelsea. Gone down. I think this is a little tactical meeting for Chelsea to try and reshuffle this squad around. As of course they've lost their central centre back, so I don't think Hannah Hampton's injured at all. I think she's just sitting down to get some tactical info. The Barcelona bench don't like it, but at the end of the day, she has gone down, the goalkeeper, so she needs to be seen to. I mean, in fairness, it's probably another yellow card. I don't think they can have too many complaints. It's definitely not a red, it's not a straight red. That's for sure, but it probably is another yellow. So she's probably got it right altogether, which isn't great for Chelsea to hear, but that's how I see it anyway. I do think that was a second bookable offence. But Chelsea are going to make a change here. Not necessarily a defensive one. Katerina Macario off for Guro Wrighton. So it is almost like an attacker for an attacker here for Chelsea. So goal kick for Hannah Hampton, who is absolutely fine to continue as we expected. And she'll fire it out to the Chelsea left here. Beyond the halfway line, touched down by James. It's now with Lou Potts, who can turn away from Walsh and play out to the right here towards New Skin, but it's a bit wayward, and it's on a Badier to pick it up for Barcelona. And it's now the away side back on the ball. You just need to be patient now because the chances will arise. That is for sure for Barcelona with this extra player. Enyon. Touched around the corner and in behind by Barcelona. That's brilliant football. Rolfer tries to get onto it, but tackled by Carter. And that'll be a goal kick for Chelsea. Last touch off Rolfer. As Carter slid in, she kicked it off Rolfer and won the goal kick. It was really quick firing football there by Barcelona to try and get it in behind. Looks like Barcelona will make a change of their own surely. So Hampton again. With another big kick forward. Header away though by Barcelona this time. Rolfer, who's come out to the right-hand side, will play it into the space for Graham Hansen, who's been barely involved this second half. She can't beat Charles to it. Cleared away, but Barcelona win it back. Kira Walsh having to go back to the halfway line here to Paredes. It's now with Guijarro. Plays it to her right here to Bronze. Midway side of the Chelsea half. Down the line for Graham Hansen. And then back to Bronze. Just keep ball for Barcelona here with Bonmati. Furthest back for Barcelona. On the ball at the moment. That is Paredes. Across to the left to Enyon. Goes forward to Rolfer. Back out to the left towards Enyon. It's a misplaced pass, but she can keep it away from Lauren James. Then a ball inside to Rolfer from Badier, and then she tries to return it. She does return it. Then it's back to Rolfer again. Bonmati, edge of the box. Pass it across to Walsh. Keeps it alive, going to the left here to Guijarro. Bronze. Goes to her right here to Graham Hansen. Can she work across? It's a low one to Bonmati, who controls well, but then can't keep it away from Niamh Charles, who at left back clears it, but it's not a great clearance. Straight to Lucy Bronze, who left-footed, delivers the ball into the far post. Rolfer nods it down, Carter can clear it. Drops to Badier, who will shoot it herself, and it's a good save. Down low to her right by Hampton. On a Badier. Looking for her first Champions League goal of the season. She scored 3 in all competitions since joining from Manchester United. On a Badier, who's experiencing her first ever Champions League campaign as a player. It's Cuthbert on the halfway line with the ball. Looking out to the right-hand side here and in behind for Ritting-Carmen. It's a brilliant ball and she's in the box. Chops onto her left foot. Ritting-Carmen shoots towards goal. It takes a slight nick and into the gloves of the goalkeeper. That's a good opportunity for Chelsea. Ritting-Carmen with the chop back inside onto her left foot. Just never quite caught the shot. Was always going to be a save. It didn't even take a deflection in the end. It went straight through into the hands of the goalkeeper. But Chelsea win it back on halfway. Newskin kicking it off Badier. And it's a throw-in for Chelsea in their own half as they're going to make a change here. Number 9, Mariona Caldente will come on for Ona Badier. So a bit more of a defensive-minded player off for a bit more of an attacking player of Caldente, who's featured in every game so far this season for Barcelona in all competitions, if that's from the start or on the bench. She had started every Champions League game before tonight, Caldente, but she's on tonight. She's on now, off the bench with a quarter of the game to play. And it's Barcelona back in possession with Lucy Bronze just before the halfway line, just towards that far side. Keeps it simple, going to a left here to Paredes. And then across to a left centre half of Enyon. Now Rolfer. Down the left. Having to go back here to Caldente. Barcelona's number 9. Through into the box. That's a brilliant pass. And she's found Bonmati, who can keep the ball in with a cross as she went towards the byline. But it's volleyed away by Leupolz. Straight back to Barcelona with Paredes. But that could have been a bit more dangerous, that. Because to find Bonmati in the box in that much space can cause quite a bit of danger. As Barcelona eventually shoot from about 22 yards out there. Through Patri Guijarro. But that was very high and very wide, and it can just relax Chelsea a little bit. That is for sure. But the games don't stop coming for Chelsea. In the week, they've got Liverpool away, then they've got Bristol at home, and then a derby with Spurs away, before finishing the season away at Manchester United at Old Trafford in the WSL, where they are trying to win another WSL title. It would be their 5th title in a row. Cuthbert on the halfway line. Forced back, but that is short. Hampton will get there sliding. Got away with that, Cuthbert. Seems like they're going backwards too many times, Chelsea, unnecessarily. Cuthbert with the short pass back to Hampton, who just about beat Paraluelo to the ball. Back with Chelsea. Lauren James with it. Gets beyond the halfway line. She needs to carry this ball, and she does keep it. That's very good work from Lauren James. Goes to the right centre-half here at the moment of Newskin. Having to cover in a bit more of a deeper position with the red card of Kadisha Buchanan. It's Ashley Lawrence. Down the left-hand side for Wrighton. Keeps it away from Bronze and kicks it off Bronze for a throw-in for Chelsea in that final third on the far side. 1-2 between Leupolz and Wrighton. It's now with Cuthbert. To the right centre half here, Newskin. Everyone back behind the ball for Barcelona. Fired out to the right wing to Ritting Carnrid. 1-on-1 with Rolfer. Ritting Carnrid returns the ball back here to Newskin. 1-2 with Ritting Carnrid, and Newskin's gone on the right. And she crosses into the box beyond Lauren James, and it's a strong header away by Bronze. And it drops to Bonmati. And Leupolz pulls her back. And that'll be a free kick for Barcelona. An half-decent opportunity there for Chelsea. Decent ball in the box. It almost reached the head of Lauren James. It's now Barcelona to come forward and then go back to the halfway line. So Kira Walsh just always keeps the game ticking. Kira Walsh, compared to Busquets on many of occasions, just sets the tempo of games. She captained England very recently, in the recent international break, but her first time captaining England was in her 7th cap back in September 2018 against Kazakhstan. So she has that natural leadership within her, Kira Walsh, at the age of 27 now. Turned 27 a couple of weeks ago. And she still has it. Just drifting towards this near side, Kira Walsh, as he links up with Caldente. And then returns it back to Kira Walsh, then forward, and then flicks in behind, and Bonmati's onto it. It's forced away from goal by Charles. But Bonmati still has it. Doesn't know where to go, Bonmati, surrounded by 2 blue shirts, but she eventually works it to Caldente, who then crosses. It's a dangerous cross in, and it's well dealt with by Carter. Touches it away out to the right-back position for Charles, who will just get that ball gone. High it goes, but headed back towards Chelsea's goal by Paredes. And Barcelona come again. Guijardo. It's now out wide left to Rolfer through Caldente. Enyon. Everyone behind the ball for Chelsea. Kira Walsh has it. Barcelona's number 21. Rolfer on the near side, going back to Enyon. Really good shift this from the Chelsea players as they're down to 10 men at the moment. Buchanan sent off about 12 minutes ago now as they slip through Bonmati in the box. She gets there ahead of Carter. She's tripped and a penalty kick's given. It was Carter and Lawrence who were both chasing down Bonmati. Bonmati got in front of both of them. And VAR's going to check it. Let's have a look. Bonmati in between both of them. Tripped by Lawrence. It's accidental. Lawrence doesn't put a leg out to trip her up. They're all just running. And as Bonmati gets in front of Lawrence, her leg just clips off Lawrence's and she goes down. It's definitely not purposeful contact. Bonmati more runs into the legs of Lawrence. That's very unfortunate that if that's given as a penalty. And the penalty's been given. I just see that as more of a tangle of legs, if anything. It's not a foul. It's not like Lawrence has tried to stop Bonmati from going through. And you feel like if this penalty's put into the back of the net for Barcelona, it might be a little bit too much for Chelsea to come back from this. They're already down to 10. And now they've got a penalty against them. They really need Hannah Hampton in goal to step up. Penalty given, not overturned by VAR. Slightly unfortunate, like I say, a bit of a tangle of legs there. So it will be Fridolina Rolfer to take this penalty. She was the match winner in the Champions League final last season for Barcelona against Wolfsburg. She's had a big set off with injury this season. She's missed the majority of the campaign. She came back in February. Can she score from the spot? And she does. Slots it into the bottom left corner. Sends Hannah Hampton the wrong way. Barcelona lead by 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. 2-1 an aggregate. And it's just all going wrong for Chelsea in their farewell tour with Emma Hayes. Lost the Conti Cup final. Out of the FA Cup in the semi-final stage. Now it looks like it's going to be the same in the in the Champions League. Another semi-final exit. Yes, they're down to 10, but Barcelona have just been too good tonight overall. They lead. They're a goal ahead on the night. They're a player up as well. And Fridolina Rolfo from the spot dispatches, and it's Chelsea 0, Barcelona 2. 2-1 on aggregate. Just going from bad to worse for Chelsea. Nothing's gone right tonight. The goal they conceded, the first one was the deflected effort. The second one they've just conceded was quite an unfortunate penalty to give away. And then with a red card as well. Just a lot of adversity for Chelsea, and they've not been able to deal with it tonight so far. Doesn't mean they won't give this a go. With 15 to play of the 90, but it's a big ask for them. But it's a Chelsea throw in here, midway side the Barcelona half. Just touched out of play by Rolfo. Chelsea are going to make a change. Melanie Leupolz, a midfielder, off for a striker of Aggie Beaver-Jones. This is her first Champions League campaign. She's not scored yet in this competition this season. Can Chelsea try and do the unthinkable and somehow turn this around with 10 players in a goal down? Lawrence throws it down the line, looking towards Ritin Karmrid, dealt with there by Caldente and helped on in behind for Barcelona. Paraluelo will chase it, Carter will get there first and goes back to the goalkeeper Hampton, who clears it with a pass to the left to Charles. It's now with the right centre-half of Newskin. Long for Chelsea. Beaver-Jones is chasing this. Goalkeeper comes out of a box. She needs to try and see this behind or clear it. She goes with a clearance, thrown for Chelsea. Deep in the Barcelona half. Good running there by Aggie Beaver-Jones. They take the throw in quickly. Back it goes to Newskin. 1-2 with Cuthbert. Newskin into her own half here to Carter. And she's been forced to go back again to Hampton, who I'm presuming will go long here. Yeah, she will. It's too much of the same by Chelsea. Ball kicked long straight back to Barcelona, who can deal with it through Paredes. But she does boot it out of play for a throw-in, so slightly got away with that Chelsea, but they've been doing that all night, even with 11 players. The long balls over the top and just giving the possession straight back to Barcelona. So Chelsea have it back. Jess Carter on the far side, beyond the halfway line. Playing a pass, can't find Beaver-Jones, dealt with by Paredes. But there's a free kick given for Chelsea. I'm presuming as Carter released it, she was fouled. We didn't quite see that foul on the screen, but I'm presuming that's what it's been given for. So, free kick for Chelsea. They're going to try and launch this in the box, I think, with Erin Cuthbert, the one stood over it. In it goes into the box. It's a good cross in, and does it take a nick off a Barcelona player? No, it doesn't. Straight through in behind for a goal kick. Slight waste by Chelsea. It was a really well taken penalty by Rolfo. Last second, just opening the body up to send it to the bottom left corner. Hampton went the wrong way. It's been a really tough season for Rolfo. Out with a knee injury from August to February. Just making a 10th appearance of the season. And she is again the winner for Barcelona. She turns up in the big moments, the former Wolfsburg Swedish international. As Barcelona try and attack again, but they lose it on halfway with Caldente. It's now Newskin. Bringing it forward for Chelsea. Paraluelo is following behind, but she played it to this near side to Lawrence, who gave away the penalty to two Canadians, costing Chelsea, really. Lawrence giving the penalty away, and Buchanan sent off. Beaver-Jones beats Enyon to it, and then she slides in the Norwegian and wins the ball. Chelsea wanted the free kick. Oh, and they'll get it as well. Surprising. Just on the edge of the box on the right-hand side, so it's more of a crossing opportunity for Chelsea. I thought Enyon got that right. She slides in and gets the ball. Why is that a free kick? That's a shocking decision, that. That's just poor. That's a brilliant tackle from Enyon. Got across the player, won the ball, but apparently seen as a free kick. I must say, I have to disagree with that one. But it'll be Cuthbert to cross again from the right wing position. This is what Chelsea need in a situation like this when they're down a player. Set pieces to launch in the box. Need to try and make the most of this. Cuthbert crosses towards the far post. Header won though for Barcelona. Drops to the edge of the area for Carter, who sends it out to the left to Charles. Crosses into the air. Headed back to the edge of the area to Carter, who launches it in there towards Beaver Jones. Header won by Enyon. Headed forward by Ritten Carmrid. Drops to Newskin in the box. He tries to lift it over the defence, but it's cut out. And Barcelona can come away with the ball on the left-hand side. With Caldente switching out to the right. And Barcelona can get away. My knee supports. That is good news. Good news for the day. Finally some positivity in this day. So, Barcelona ball in their possession on the halfway line with their captain, Guijarro, who wasn't a part of the Spain squad for the World Cup. She was one of the dozen players who made themselves unavailable for that Spanish World Cup squad. Obviously, a little bit of problems with the manager at the time. And those problems just continued for Spanish women's football. It was a little bit of a messy summer for them. I know they won the World Cup, and you think, how can it be a messy summer when a country wins the World Cup? But everything that happened after the final and then off the pitch, yeah, it all just went a little bit wrong, and it just put a bit of a dint on the achievement of the Spanish national side. But it looks like they're going to be going again in Europe at club level with Barcelona. As they do lose it, midway side the Chelsea half, Newskin intercepts it, shields the ball away from Bonmati. It's now with Carter. Long it goes beyond halfway, and no one in the blue shirts near it, so out it goes for a throw-in. And it's going to be a triple change for Chelsea. This is going to be it, I think. Bit of a final roll of the dice with 8 to play, with a player less. And they're going to make the changes now, or are they going to just hold off for a minute? I'm not too sure. I think they're going to take the throw-in first, so we'll get the changes in a minute or two time. Rolfer takes it, throws it towards Paraluelo, who is put to the ground by Newskin, but not seen as a foul by the referee. Very interesting. Carter clears it long again for Chelsea. Beaver Jones chasing it, header won by Enyon. Loose ball dropped towards Lawrence, goes beyond her, but then collected by Cuthbert, who loses out to Caldente. Finds Rolfer. Takes a nick off a Chelsea player, throwing in the left-back position for Barcelona. And now we'll get the changes. And in a day that might be a bit negative for Chelsea, this will be a positive. One of the changes coming up. First change, we'll see Ashley Lawrence, the one who gave the penalty away. Like-for-like swap, she'll be replaced by Eve Perisset, who won the League and Champions League double with Lyon in the 2015-2016 season. Second change, we'll see Ritten Carmrid, replaced by Millie Bright, who's back on. It's her first appearance since a knee injury that's kept her out since mid-November. So Millie Bright on with the captain's armband, and the final change we'll see Fran Kirby come on. Didn't quite see who she replaced, but I'll keep an eye on that. So Millie Bright, I think, has been put up front for Chelsea because she's very tall at this level. Millie Bright. She can really be a nuisance up front. So they're going to try that tactic to Chelsea as we're back underway. Aggie Beaver Jones losing out in the right wing position for Chelsea. Perisset wants to win it back, but she can only kick it out for a Barcelona throw-in. As Barcelona are ready in a change of their own at the moment. So yeah, Leupolz. Well, no, Leupolz was brought off before. So who is been brought off? They're just sorting the changes out here. We'll find out in a second. Caldente clears for Barcelona. Straight to Niamh Charles. Sends it forward to Fran Kirby. On once more towards Wrighton. It's a pretty bad pass in the end. And Bronze is charging away with it into the Chelsea half on that right-hand side. Slows it down and goes forward to Graham Hansen, who goes backwards to Walsh and now to Bronze, and it's Barcelona back in possession with 5 to play. Bonmati, who scored the first for Barcelona tonight. Looks like they're going to be winning their 3rd game against Chelsea in the 5th meeting between these two. Left wing position, Rolfer, the current match winner on aggregate. Tackled, though, by Perisic. And Aggie Beaver-Jones runs out of room. And there'll be a throw-in for Barcelona, still well within the Chelsea half here. Barcelona are going to make another change. They're going to bring off number 10, Caroline Graham Hansen, who's done absolutely nothing in the second half. She was a lot more involved in the first half. But she'll be replaced by number 6, Claudia Pina, who's got just the 1 goal and the 1 start for Barcelona in the Champions League this season. That came against Rosengard in a 7-0 home win in late December in the group stage. So Barcelona's number 6 is on. An attacking midfielder, even though she's got the number 6 on. So she will be playing up there for Barcelona. So throw-in will be taken by Rolfer towards Caldente. Keeps Carter away from the ball and gets it back to Rolfer, whose ball down the line deflects and it can be kicked off. No, it's started play from a Chelsea player. Barcelona throw-in taken quickly by Rolfer. Flicked into the box by Caldente towards the substitute Pina, who goes across the box, and it's well saved by Hampton. Paraluelo with the ball. Referee booking a player here. Chelsea player making a comment. Not sure who it was. Oh no, she's whistling again. Oh God. Don't send her off. What's going on? I don't know who she's just booked. I can't quite see on screen who it is. But a Chelsea player just said something. Niamh Charles, who was the captain for Chelsea, but she's given the armband to Millie Bright, who's come off the bench for Chelsea late on, making her return to the football pitch after being out since November with injury. So Hampton takes the ball with a kick forward towards Millie Bright, who does flick it on to Beaver-Jones, who then plays it in behind herself down the right wing towards Perisic, but it's overhit. Ball out of play, goal kick. I think they've brought off Lauren James. Yeah, they have. Lauren James brought off in that triple change, but in fairness, she's not done a lot, Lauren James, in this game. She was, again, a lot more involved in the first half and not involved in the second. Then that did change a lot more when the red card was given to Kadisha Buchanan. But she'll be disappointed this season, Lauren James, with a goal tally in the Champions League. Just the 1 in the quarter-final first leg against Ajax. So goal kick finds Caldente, sends it out to the right to Paraluelo, who will run at Niamh Charles here. She's got runners to her left. She'll cut inside into a more central area and then kick it off the referee. And there'll be a drop ball for Barcelona as Millie Bright just went in strongly on Enyon, the centre-back, as the ball went loose off the referee. Got the ball very cleanly, Millie Bright, just the follow-through was a little bit heavy. So drop ball to Bonmati. And Barcelona back in possession. To this left-hand side to Pina. Goes back to Rolfer. Then back once more into the halfway line to Enyon. Then forward to Walsh. Finds Guijarro, who can turn forward with the ball. And plays the pass. Bonmati holds it up. Guijarro again. Switches it out to the right. That's a brilliant ball. Loads of space on the right-hand side for Bronze, who will play it inside first time to Caldente. It's now Bonmati, edge of the area. Ball just gets away from it, but she can retreat it and keep it. Passing it to Caldente, who runs across the pitch over to the Barcelona left. Slips it through here for Pina. And then out to the left wing to Rolfer. Caldente through for Pina. Agonising for Chelsea to watch this. They just can't get the ball back. Enyon with it. Caldente with the ball. Losing out. Playing it straight to Kirby, whose pass is loose. Can't find Beaver Jones. Barcelona go long. Win the knockdown. As Charles' clearance went straight to Bonmati. And then back to Rolfert. And Barcelona are just clearly killing this clock at the minute. Walsh, that's a brilliant pass. Bonmati turns as well. Plays it to the left. To Pina. And 6 are added on here for Chelsea. It's Bonmati running towards goal. Back heeling it into Guijarro. Now through for Pina. Pulls it across. And it's not dealt with by Chelsea yet until that clearance from Newskin. Long it goes up towards Millie Bright. Enyon kicks it straight to Kirby. Chelsea need to go forward, but she goes back instead to Perisset, who then goes forward, but straight off the head of Rolfert. And then Barcelona play again. What a waste that is. Kirby's got to go forward with that pass there. Can't go backwards. Running out of time anyway. Now we're added on time. As Rolfert brings the ball forward. And goes in behind. Chested down by Charles. Keeping it away from Para Luelo. And Charles will drill it forward, but it's nowhere near Millie Bright. And the Barcelona clearance goes long. And straight to Hampton. And Bonmati's gone down, requiring medical assistance, so we've had to have the game stopped. I'm sure we've seen this before. Bit of time wasting from Barcelona. So Bonmati has to go off to the side here after receiving a little bit of medical treatment that took about 2 seconds. And Bonmati eventually has actually been substituted off. So if it does somehow go to extra time, they won't have Bonmati. She's been replaced by, it's not a bad replacement, isn't it? Alexia Putellas, Barcelona's number 11, 2-time Ballon d'Or winner herself. That is one substitution, that isn't it, as Millie Bright flicks it on. And it's a handball, comes off Enyon's hand. I thought it did. Did look like handball to me. Enyon's claiming it came off the side of her hip. I think she's lying there. I think she's having it on. I think that's definitely an handball. She's not happy. But what a crossing opportunity this is for Chelsea. The crowd are right up on their feet now. Perisset is going to deliver it in. As Bright flicked it on. Oh, I don't think it came off the hand. Oh, God, that's a bad decision. I'm wrong. I think it came off her side. Now, this would really frustrate the Barcelona players if this goes in. I don't think Ingrid Enyon actually got contact with that on her hand. It did look like it on first view for me, but angles can be deceiving at times. But it's a Chelsea chance to cross. Perisset with the delivery. Crosses it. It's a deep one. It's slightly overhit. It's gone all the way through. Does it take a deflection? No, it doesn't. Goal kick. Just not a great cross, really. Just overhit it for me. And if it took a touch off anyone, it took a touch off Niamh Charles as it bounced through. Yeah. It actually came off the hand of Niamh Charles. Do apologise for that noise. Just can never escape it. So 2.5 minutes to play here. Chelsea are crashing out at the Champions League semi-final stage again. Against Barcelona again. As Caldente switched out to the right. There's loads of space for Barcelona on that right wing. It does mean that Paraluelo does have to go over and get the ball. And she has it now. Stood one-on-one with Charles. Isolated with the fullback. But she'll look to go backward, then turns forward. That's really good match play from Paraluelo. Just killing a bit of more seconds. Thinking she's going backward, then she's going forwards. And now she's being tackled by Kirby fairly with a slide tackle. And Chelsea have it back. Need to go long, and they do with Hampton. Drops to Beaver Jones. He will get there on this near side. Turns away from Caldente. It's now Cuthbert. Away from Putellas. Putellas. Cuthbert. Tackled by Caldente. And it's Walsh. Forward to Pina. Through once more. Chance here. Paraluelo tries to go around Hampton, but it's a great save. Made herself big. And Hampton wants to go long. Ball is low along the ground. Newskin slid in, but Bronze won the ball. It's now back with Barcelona. We've got a minute left to kill before it's a 4th Champions League final in a row. Pina into the box. That's a great ball. Guijardo tried to square it. Comes off Charles. This might be last chance saloon for Chelsea. It almost went 3-0 if it wasn't for that Hampton save on Paraluelo. It's now with Fran Kirby on the halfway line. Not got lots of options, so she goes backwards to Charles. Go forward. Oh, my word. Charles does go forward with the ball, which cut out by Rolfo. That is poor. That is, I mean, if you're going to go forward, at least get some height on it. Barcelona clear it down the left. It's with Putellas on it. Can't get around Carter. Carter goes back to Hampton. We've got 20 seconds left here. It needs to go. Hampton needs to send this. Away it goes. Big kick down the Chelsea right. No one's going to get there. No one's going to reach it. Oh, it's just not been Chelsea's night. End of story. Just absolutely nothing has gone their way. Throw in for Barcelona in their defensive third. We've played the 6 added on. Rolfer clears it down the line for Barcelona. We still play here. Volleyed forward by Charles. Flicked on by Kirby. Controlled by Wrighton, who can't quite get it beyond Kira Walsh, but she gives it away to Cuthbert. Tries to get it in the box. It deflects. Header away. Cuthbert down the right. Last touch off Putellas. Maybe another chance for Chelsea. They've got a throw in. They're running out of time. It doesn't seem like they have a very long throw. Or maybe. Does Charles have it in the locker? She's going to go for it. Throw into the box. Can't reach Millie Bright. Header away for another throw in. Do they have time to take it? Yes, they do. Charles throws it down the line this time to Beaver Jones. Turns, but tackled by Buteas, who finds Pina. It's now Caldente in a left-back position. Loses out to Charles. Beaver Jones crosses, and it's straight into the gloves of the goalkeeper. And that will probably be that. Chelsea out of another competition. Chelsea fans not happy with the amount of time the goalkeeper's taking here. And that will be that. It's Champions League final number 4 in a row for Barcelona. Chelsea fall short again. Losing this second leg 2-0 at Stamford Bridge after having a 1-goal advantage. After winning that first leg away at Barcelona, you feel like they did the hardest job. But they've not been able to take that lead and make it count here in the second leg at Stamford Bridge. Just seemed like nothing went right for them. Conceded through a deflected goal in the first half through Bon Mati. Went down to 10 players with half an hour to go after a second yellow card for Buchanan. And the eventual winner for Barcelona was from the penalty spot with 15 minutes to play. Fridolina Rolfer, who's been out until February with injury, has returned and scored a massive goal for Barcelona. The penalty seemed a little harsh. A tangle of legs between Ashley Lawrence and Bon Mati gave Barcelona the penalty. The Swedish international dispatched it, giving Barcelona the lead with an extra player as well. And in pure Barcelona fashion, they were able to kill that clock, shield the lead through till the end, and they've booked themselves another Champions League final. Like I say, they've reached their 4th in a row. They have won 2 of the last 3 Champions Leagues, and they have now won their last 4 Champions League semi-final ties in a row. It's delight for Jonathan Giraldez, the Barcelona manager, who will be leaving at the end of the season for America as he goes to join Washington Spirit. And talk about spirit. Everything on show there showed the Barcelona spirit. Dominated the ball. Never looked worried, even when it was 1-0 to Chelsea in aggregate. Calm as you like, and did exactly what was needed to get the result. And Barcelona have got themselves through. Emma Hayes looks defeated. She looks deflated. She's gone from a possible quadruple to a maybe treble to an almost double to now maybe not even having the single of WSL because they are having to battle very hard for that one going up against Manchester City. It could be a trophyless season for Chelsea. They need to be careful, but tonight it just didn't go their way. Like I say, with the red card, with the deflected shot for the first goal, and then with the penalty that just, it wasn't for me, it wasn't an out-and-out foul, that penalty. It was just Bonmati got in front of Lawrence, then they tangled with legs, and it seemed like she tripped her, and the referee gave it. VAR didn't overturn it. And Barcelona will face either PSG or Lyon in the final. Yep, PSG or Lyon in the final. That is correct. They play tomorrow. I believe it is 3-2 to Lyon. So Barcelona might be able to avenge their demons of the last Champions League final they lost. They lost it to Lyon in 2022. But they are there celebrating in front of their travelling supporters. They look absolutely delighted, and rightly so, because that is what you call a perfect away performance in the Champions League, especially being a goal behind as well. It's never easy to overturn it, but coming to Stamford Bridge, they have done just that, overturned it. And what a man they've got in charge. Jonathan Giraldez. I know he won't be there next season, but just at the age of 32, he is a seriously impressive coach in football. And in fairness, both of these teams will be without their current manager come next season. Emma Hayes is leaving as well, and it looks like she could be leaving without any trophies in her final season. For Emma Hayes, she has been in America before. She worked at Chicago, so it's nothing completely new for Emma Hayes going to take charge of the American national side. But it is an end to Chelsea's Champions League run for another season. It's back-to-back exits against Barcelona in the semi-final stage. It won't be a second final for Chelsea. It's just not gone their way. It's Barcelona's night, and it is them to go to the final. And the final will be on slightly similar territory. Will be on familiar territory for Barcelona. The final's in Bilbao, so it is in Spain. The final, which will obviously will be more of a liking to for Barcelona, having to stay in Spain, and either PSG or Lyon will have to travel to Spain for the final. But great commentary as always. Thank you for everyone who did tune in. It was a bit of a different one, but I did enjoy it. As an Englishman, I was half having my fingers crossed for Chelsea. You always want to see the English sides do well, but it wasn't meant to be. Next commentary is on Monday night. As promoted Leicester travel to Preston to try and win the Championship title if they can. I know Ipswich are were playing Hull. That game is over, and Ipswich... Oh, it's a late kickoff, sorry, it's 8 o'clock. I thought it was 5:30. So yeah, Ipswich play later, away at Hull. And if Ipswich don't win, then Leicester win the league. So let's hope for an Ipswich result, because I'd like to commentate on Leicester going to Preston to try and win the league. I don't want to commentate on Leicester with absolutely nothing to play. They've been promoted and they've won the league. That would be pretty boring, really, Leicester having nothing to play on. So hopefully Ipswich get a result and it forces Leicester to try and play for a result against Preston to win the league. But for tonight's commentary, that will be the end. I hope you enjoy. Make sure you like, subscribe before you go. Keep checking out the channel for future commentaries. They are always scheduled on the channel in advance. But here at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea, we're looking to try and get revenge on Barcelona from last season, who knocked them out of the Champions League at this stage, but it wasn't meant to be. A first half goal from Bonmati, which was deflected. A second half, which had a red card for Buchanan for Chelsea, completely flipped the game. 15 minutes before the end, it was a penalty for Barcelona, dispatched by Rolfer, who's returned from a long-term injury to come back at the most important part of the season and come back with a really important goal. It gave Barcelona a 1-goal lead on the aggregate scoreline. They were able to see it through till the end. They've knocked out Chelsea in back-to-back seasons. They're in their 4th final in a row, and they'll take on either PSG or Lyon. But here at full-time at Stamford Bridge, it finishes Chelsea 0, Barcelona 2, and on aggregate it's Chelsea 1, Barcelona 2.